Hey everybody, welcome to Post to Post. Welcome to Friday and the weekend. It's going to be a good one, I think. Today is a bit of a different challenge in front of us. We're going to be looking at jerseys. However, the designer is someone who spent a very long time designing these. A full set for the NHL 32. I've not seen these before. Technically, I've seen one because I vetted them, but they're from a designer named Jedi. He actually spent 2 years in the hospital recovering from liver damage. And while he was in there, he decided to take the time out of his, very crucial time in trying to recover and stuff and come up with these designs. So that's I appreciate, Jedi so much you sending these in, and we're going to take a look at them and go through them and see what you think of your designs. So I appreciate the time that you took. So once again, thank you for sending these along. I appreciate you. Let's bring these up and go through them one at a time. Start with Anaheim. Let's see what's going on. Now, these are a different orientation, so they're going to appear on the screen a little bit differently. So I'll try and make myself maybe smaller than normal, so I can make these a little bit bigger than normal since they're a different orientation than the typical Friday video. I apologize for that, but we're working with what we got here. So the Anaheim Ducks, I think a jersey like this is very like Pittsburgh Penguins style design in a way, where you've got almost a different color in the arms versus the sleeves. You've got a big section here that kind of holds the number, is kind of what I'm getting at. I think this could work for Anaheim. I do like the color orientation here. Way more purple into the brand, which I think is a good decision. The orange has been removed. That gold has been kind of removed, or bronzy kind of gold has been removed a little bit. I would be totally fine with this movement going to the more purple and more green. But the interesting thing about this concept is that the back of the jersey here is the away jersey. So it's kind of like you're getting two concepts in one in a way. The front facing one is the home jersey, the back facing one is the away jersey. And then the logo, he's decided to go with a more, I guess, modern version of a duck. I think that's okay. I would honestly just prefer if they just go back to their original logo, and I think so many fans would be happy with that. Let's move on to Arizona. Okay, so a bit of a combination between the Kachina jersey and maybe their previous home jersey, keeping that pattern in there, which I think a lot of people like, or a variation of that pattern. And going back with the burgundy, I don't think that's a wrong call. I do think that the logo in the middle, the primary logo, which is the alternate logo, and then the previous primary logo kind of combined, that's just a little bit too busy for me. So I would choose just the Coyote head on the front and put that back up on the shoulder or somewhere else. And then the Arizona State patch being on the front of the jersey, I actually really like that. I think that'd be really cool. Actually, I think if every team in the NHL displayed some kind of symbolism or flag or graphic or whatever to their province or state somewhere on the jersey, whether it's a shoulder patch or a patch on the front, I think that's really cool. I really like that, just being a fan of flags, a fan of geography in general, and traveling. I don't think the typical hockey fan would like that much, but that's my selfish opinion there. Let's move on. The Boston Bruins. Ooh, definitely a more modern take on the logo. The B on the front of the jersey with the stripes in the background does look pretty good. I do find it clashes with the logo a little bit. I'd be curious to see that big B in the front of the jersey, which they've done actually in the past, but keep the lines back in there. Like, just put the lines in there, but don't bring them all the way to the edge of the jersey. Just kind of keep them just kind of protruding out a little bit. I wonder what that would look like. Be very curious. Let's move on. Next is the Buffalo Sabres. Okay, so this is relatively similar to their current home and away jerseys. The striping is a little bit different, obviously, but there's a patch up here which says, Buffalo Sabres established 1970. So that's a pretty cool patch to have up there. But generally, this is pretty close to what already exists. Next, the Carolina Hurricanes have, in this concept, have gone from red to more of a burgundy, and the logo has changed substantially. In terms of, I guess there's more. It looks more intricate, and also obviously the color has changed a little bit. I don't think this was the wrong decision, but I do really like the bright red with the black combination of the Carolina Hurricanes. I think that's a very strong color combination. So while I don't dislike this, I think I maybe prefer their current color combination a little bit more. Next is the Columbus Blue Jackets. So you've got the chevrons, I think, upside down maybe, or are they? I guess they typically appear in two different ways according to the internet. Most looks like they're pointing down, but there are some that point up. So I guess both is correct there. I apologize for my initial statement. I learned something new today. So you never know what you're going to find out when you Google an answer. So Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty good jersey. It's based off the alternate jersey, which is, I think, maybe the more popular jersey in their brand. A lot of people like that Canada logo and stylization. Decent concept here. Moving on to Calgary, and we've got a bit of a Blasty inspiration there in the corner, but the actual color of the jersey is like a very dried blood. I guess it's kind of burgundy a little bit, but it's very vibrant. Like it's very, very colorful. The deep red, the brighter red, the yellow. There's definitely lots of color in this. I don't think this looks bad by any means. I am a huge fan of their retro look now, so I'll say that I like what they currently use a little bit more. Next up, we got Chicago. Great decision here. I mean, this is a very logical decision. Chicago is, I think, eventually going to have to do a black alternate jersey because lots of people want it. So the only thing that Jedi's changed here is taking what would be the shoulder patch and kind of putting it in the front of the chest up on the corner. And obviously, we've seen a bit of a trend here in his concepts. I wonder if that's an option for NHL teams moving forward. And it might also depend on who creates the next jerseys after Adidas is done, whether that's Nike, whether it's Under Armour, someone else. It doesn't really matter. I'm curious to know if shoulder patches would potentially go away and maybe we see a patch move to the front of the jersey instead of having two of the same patch on each shoulder. Something to consider for sure, but Jersey Ads may have something to say about that. Next, the Colorado Avalanche. Ooh, you know what? This is not bad. I see a lot of Quebec influence in here from that light blue. I think there is absolutely nothing wrong with this. I do like this. It's not better than what they currently use. I'll say that. I think this is just good on just another level, or a different level rather. Okay, the Dallas Stars. Another strong and simple concept here, and simple in a good way. You know, they're not. I think Jedi's made some pretty good decisions throughout this entire series so far. Just playing it safe in a really good way. Some good logical decisions for the striping. The logo looks good. Moving on to Detroit. Ooh, I guess the little line underneath, or that little shadow underneath the wheel, is maybe to provide a little bit of scenery in the logo, and scenery in the sense of you're putting the logo in a scene. And you're giving it some kind of interaction with the scene. So it looks like the wheel is kind of spinning away, and you get that little bit of a trail behind there. So he's added personality to the logo, to the jersey, just by adding that little bit of detail on the bottom of the logo, which is, I think, okay. I think okay in, I guess, maybe a digital graphic terms. I don't like it on the jersey. I think it looks a little bit out of place. But the striping, I think I do like that. It's very classic and very, very Detroit acceptable, I think. Very traditional and acceptable striping. Next is the Edmonton Oilers, the great 199 patch on the front. Again, another logical decision, much like the Chicago Blackhawks one. I think this is playing it safe in the best way possible, and it's just a really good decision here. I can see this happening. It's very close to what they currently use, but yeah, let's move on. The Florida Panthers. Okay, so we've changed the striping in the middle a little bit. Obviously, the arms as well. I think this is good, but I will say that I like the one that they use now just a little bit better. Let's move on to the LA Kings. Drastic change here. Going back to the original colors with purple and yellow, changing up the logo entirely, and having a new alternate logo on the front as well. Lots of innovation here from Jedi. And I like the alternate logo up here on what would be the patch, I guess, on this jersey. But I don't like the middle logo in the front. That is I don't remember the best way to describe it. It feels very like mid-1980s like Atari logo or something. I can't really describe it, but I think I prefer their current one or a previous one in their design a little bit more, but lovely decision going with the colors here. Next is the Minnesota Wild. Okay, so we've kind of combined their home jersey with their reverse retro, adding in way more yellow into the brand here, removing the stripe in the middle, using that alternate logo up front. I think this is a really good bridge jersey in between the past and the present, and I think this would be a really, really good like alternate retro inspired jersey. Good decision here. Next, the Montreal Canadiens. So kind of in lines with the reverse retro, I guess, in that dark blue one. Now the light one, or the white one, you can see the back of it, not the front. But I would love to see a white version of the reverse retro where you just get, or I guess the home jersey or whatever, but you get the stripe in the middle, which is a callback to the 1944, 1945 jersey around there. I would absolutely love to see that. It would be like a day one purchase for me if the Canadians did that. But pretty good concepts here for sure. Next is the Devils, and I've actually seen a concept quite similar to this. I think recently actually, where the designer used a black jersey but implemented quite a bit of green in here from their original 1982 colors. And I think this looks okay. I don't know if it would be the right decision for a black alternate jersey, though. I think most people would just want to, keep it relatively the same black jersey, red and white, and just leave the kind of the green out of it. Basically a black version of their home jersey that's now, but inversed. Okay, next is the Nashville Predators. You went with the blue. I love it. I will say that looking at the home jersey, the dark jersey on the left, that looks fine. That looks awesome. But the other one, the white one, looking at it from behind, to me that looks like a St. Louis Blues jersey, and not necessarily the current one, but just in their kind of lineage of jerseys. So from behind, I don't like it, I guess, but from the front, I think it works. But if you did swap out that logo and put a St. Louis Blues logo on there, that could easily be a St. Louis Blues jersey. Next up should be the Islanders. It is the Islanders. Wow, I really like that light blue in there. It's like a very desaturated sky blue or something. It's very close to the Montreal Canadiens powder blue they use in the current reverse retro, but it's just like walk back on the saturation like 25%. It's a very muted, like almost like coral color. I love that. That complements with the dark blue so nicely, complements with the orange very nicely. I don't love the logo chosen for the middle, but I love that light blue in here. I would love to see that on an Islanders jersey. I think that would look fantastic. Next is the Rangers. So going with Lady Liberty here in the middle, and not much white actually on the home jersey. And the away jersey is... I can't remember the year. I can't remember the year off the top of my head. I'm trying to think about it. But it reminds me of a jersey that they have used in the past. I'll have to look back after this video and find it. But I do like that. All right, moving on to the Ottawa Senators. Wow, very intricate patch up there. I actually really, really like that patch a lot. It feels a little bit big, but I think if that was on the shoulder or something, that would look really, really cool. It's just all the little, like, I think it's like small Canadian maple leaves. I can't really tell on my screen, but it's some kind of flowers or a leaf or something around the edge. It looks like a wreath a little bit. So I think that looks really cool. Classic style logo. Yeah, overall, not bad at all. Next, the Philadelphia Flyers. Okay. Black jersey, orange numbers on the black look really, really good. Now, the away jersey, the back of it, I think the NHL used all-star jerseys from the early 90s. I can't remember the year, maybe like 1991, 1992, around there. They used orange and black and white style all-star jerseys, and that reminds me so much of that. And I really like it. I think it would be really cool if the NHL brought back all-star jerseys like that. We've just got to see, I mean, the logo literally right here. This is what I'm talking about. The logo on this jersey, this reverse retro. That's what I'm talking about, that kind of era. I would love to see that. I know I'm talking about all-star jerseys, and this is a Philadelphia Flyers jersey. The Flyers jersey is nice, okay? I'm just getting sidetracked a little bit. Pittsburgh Penguins. Okay, this is nice. I like this a lot. I think if you changed the silver in the black jersey to the white, I think I would like it a little bit more. But as is, it looks really good. The black is, I guess, staying traditional to their current kind of colors, but just going back and pulling out that blue, removing the yellow, keeping the blue, and just kind of going with it. Great alternate jersey, I think that would be right now. Next, the Seattle Kraken. So, fairly similar to what's happening now. Added some stripes on front of the shoulders. Obviously, the striping's changed a little bit on the arms and the bottom, but relatively similar to what currently exists and what they currently use. Next, the San Jose Sharks. I love the orange in there. That looks amazing. I would remove the stripe in the middle of the jersey behind that shark. I think that shark logo on there is totally fine. But overall, it's pretty decent. Next is St. Louis Blues. This is a nice one. I think I get like a kind of original style jersey design from this one, from the Blues, from the late 60s. And nothing negative really to say here. And you can see from the back of the jersey, it looks a lot like the Nashville Predators one that we looked at earlier. So to me, that definitely screams Blues, so this works. Next, the Tampa Bay Lightning. And again, with that almost like desaturated kind of blue or teal color here, just a really, really cool color that complements so nicely. And the logo, I just noticed the logo was changed. The right-hand side of the logo that swoops down is the same color as the blue. That helps balance the jersey quite nicely with the blue on the end of the sleeves and the bottom. This is cool. I do like this. Next up, the Toronto Maple Leafs. I think this one would be a miss for me. I don't like that kind of T in the middle of the logo. I understand the innovation behind it. Obviously, it stands for Toronto, but I find it almost distracting, honestly, in a way. And I think the gray is an okay decision to put in the striping, but overall, I definitely prefer what they use now. Next, the Vancouver Canucks. That logo looks like it's the orca representing a sea, or replicating a sea rather, for Canucks, and lots of green, lots of green. I would like to see, if you're going to put the orca on there, like kind of like jumping out of water almost, I don't know if I would go as green as the primary color. I would almost go as blue as the primary color, just to kind of situationalize the orca. I don't know I'm not sure if that makes sense, but the orca would look like it's kind of swimming in the water, which is blue. So I don't think the green works here for me for this one, if you're going to use the orca logo. Next is the Vegas Golden Knights. Just, basically a pretty similar, or a pretty simple jersey here with the black and the gold. I think this would look okay. Next, the Winnipeg Jets, and wow, look at that logo. That logo looks really cool. The red being used here on the striping is almost a very deep red or something, kind of like the Atlanta Thrashers. So maybe there's a bit of inspiration here coming from Atlanta. Also, if you remove the logo on the front and you put a Vancouver Canucks logo from the early 2000s, this looks like one of their jerseys, and that's a compliment and also kind of a negative at the same time. So this, to me, screams early 2000s Vancouver Canucks if you swap the logo, but I do like the jersey. Like, it's a really good design. Next, and the final one is the Washington Capitals here, with a pretty cool design in the front. Actually, I'd like to see maybe that more as a shoulder patch. I think that would be a really cool shoulder patch. Looking at the back of the jersey, actually, you know what? The back of the jersey, the white one, looks like the white version of the Vancouver Canucks jersey from the early 2000s. It's kind of, the inverse of the Winnipeg Jets one that we just looked at. I could choose my favorite here now. Just give me a minute. This is tough because I went back to the Minnesota Wild one, and I really like that. Like I said, I think it's a really good bridge jersey between kind of some history and some current stuff with that logo. But I also kind of really like that Tampa Bay one as well. Just that color that was used. I just find that very interesting. So I'm having a tough time here. I'm gonna give it to Minnesota, because I think from the back on the white jersey, it looks good. From the front, it looks good. I think a lot of Minnesota fans would like this. It's appealing to the people who like the retro North Stars kind of vibe, but it's also appealing to the people who really like kind of the current brand, the current logo, the current main colors, and also the alternate logo that's up there that a lot of people love as well. So this is a really good compromise jersey. It's also designed very nicely, and I think it totally works from a branding perspective as well. So yeah, the Minnesota Wild is my favorite here for these designs. And Jedi, thank you so much for sending these in, and thank you again for taking the time of your recovery time for 2 years in the hospital to come up with these designs and send them in. I so appreciate that. If you guys have a couple of minutes down below, please leave your comments and let Jedi know your favorite, your least favorite, give some constructive feedback. And yeah, again, it's just thank you so much for sending those in. Thank you guys for watching them. I appreciate you. If you're new to this channel and you want to see more videos like this, we do it every Friday here on the channel. So hit the subscribe button. We'd love to have you join the family here. If you did enjoy this video, hit the like button. And again, a round of applause to Jedi down below. And best of luck with your recovery. If it's still ongoing, I hope it's going really well. We'll talk to you guys soon. Adios.